You are new to sewing and you just got yourself a very beautiful sewing machine and you're excited about it, and you are just like me, you hate to read the user manual or what you call the instruction manual. As a matter of fact, I have never ever read the user manual of any sewing machine I ever bought. So you are not alone. Yes, I get it. I also did the same when I just got my very first sewing machine. But there is a problem there. The problem is that there are some of the functionalities that you will never ever get to know what they are meant for. And one of those things is the needle plate. If you didn't know what a needle plate is, the plate is just this. It's often a metallic plate that is just right under your presser foot, all right? And if you take a look closely, you would have noticed that there are some markings. Sometimes they are like markings like straight lines with numbers on them. Sometimes they are straight lines with fractions on them. But in any case, if you have a regular sewing machine, you would have pretty much noticed that on the needle plates are some markings. And have you ever bothered to ask yourself what these markings are supposed to do? Are they supposed to make your sewing better? Are they supposed to help you in your sewing? Is there a particular reason why these markings, it's on almost every sewing machine that you ever buy out there? It doesn't matter if it's Singer, if it's Yuki, if it's Toyota, you almost certainly see this marking. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what these markings are supposed to do and how they're supposed to help your sewing. Don't be shy about it. It also took me years to realize this. I always saw it. I never ever bothered to ask myself what these things were supposed to do and how it was supposed to help my sewing better. But at the end of this video, I'm pretty much sure that you would have learned it. And I'm very sure you also just smile the way I smiled as soon as you figure out what this thing is supposed to do. So I'm going to hop on my machine now and show you step by step and even give you a practical demonstration of how these markings were intended to make you more efficient in your sewing career. All right, I'm right here on my sewing machine and it's a Yuki industrial sewing machine, and right here is the needle plate. Like I said, depending on the kind of machine you have, these markings right here might be different. On my machine, it just says 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of interested what it says on a Singer machine. I do not own a Singer machine. I do not own a Brother machine, but if you do own these machines or perhaps a FAF machine, do go ahead and tell me how these markings are. First, it will help me to just know about it, and then it could also go a long way to help somebody out there in the sewing community just curious to know what these markings look like in these machines. All right, having said that, I'm going to go ahead and take out the presser foot so I'll be able to demonstrate to you exactly what this means. And to do that, I have a flathead screwdriver here, which I would just use in taking out the screw right here. Sometimes it could be really tight. All right, okay. So now that the presser foot is out, we have a very direct access to the needle plate area. If you take a close look at this, that's the needle hole right there, and the needle goes right into the hole. I'm going to drop the needle right in so to be able to demonstrate what I'm trying to illustrate. All right, now that that is in, I'm going to go ahead and take my measuring tape. All right, this is the centimeter side and this is the inches side. So depending on which is more comfortable for you, go ahead and practice it. See, if I take my measuring tape and put it right here exactly on the middle, you can see what it says. That is 1 centimeter right there. If you look at it, it corresponds to this first line that says 1. So this is 1 centimeter. And if you take a look at the other one, put it here, that's 2 centimeter right here. Just going to take it out so you can see it properly. And that is 3 centimeters. So invariably, these markings here represent the measurement you also have on your tape or your ruler. So if you want to sew 1 centimeter of seam, then you can be sure that if your material is aligned right here on this line, you can safely say that you are sewing 1 centimeter of sewing allowance. All right, if your material or your fabric stops here, then you are pretty much sure that you are sewing 2 centimeter, and it goes on and on and on. But then I'm going to replace my presser foot so we can really do this in real time. So to do that, I'm going to take my presser foot and just slide it back again. You might be wondering what kind of presser foot I have on this machine. This is what I use for sewing my zippers. So I didn't actually change to the regular foot yet, but I think it's still enough for us to demonstrate this, okay? So the presser foot is in right now. But one thing I would highly recommend is to get a magnetic stopper just like this. If you were to hold your fabric just like this, you can actually put it on the right place here, but where you are sewing, there is every possibility that it's going to be shaking and you might not end up getting the best stitch that you intend to get. So, but with the magnetic stopper, if I want to sew 1 centimeter worth, if I want to sew a 1 centimeter wide sewing allowance, I'm just going to place my stopper right there on 1, where it says 1. And then I'm very sure that if I place my fabric and my fabric is hitting the magnetic stopper like that, I am going to keep sewing 1 centimeter. It doesn't matter how long I intend to sew. So I'm just going to demonstrate that by doing that. And then I'm just going to keep sewing just like that. All right. So this is exactly how you use these markings on your bottom plate. Yes, like I said, these markings alone, you can also use them without this magnetic stopper, but I found this to be the very best thing that you can actually get yourself, okay? So if you look at the stitch that we've made now, first it's very straight, it looks very straight and clean, and then you are sure that you have been able to sew a continuous 1 centimeter sewing allowance. And if you intend to sew 2 centimeters, all you have to do is just to move your stopper to the point where it says 2, and then you are just going to do the same thing, which is to push your fabric all the way to the magnetic stopper right there, and then you are able to sew just like that. So I hope this video helps you to shed more light on the markings on your needle plate. If it did, please do me a favor, go ahead and click on the like button. Get subscribed to the channel if you are not, and until I see you again, peace.